Hello everybody, my name is David Pierce, and today I'm going to be showing you the scrap assets, it's the scraps level that I am currently building in Full Sail University. Through this walkthrough, I will be telling you ideas, mechanics, and showing you how to go through the level as a standard player. We start off on the hub scene and we'll be entering to the first objective. And here you can see that the building is supposed to be more into a museum-esque exterior. The world is in decay, the terrain is supposed to be a bit overgrown, hills, and the player is able to walk around, explore, and just look around. And cars are going to be around over the place, grass growing, overgrowth, so on and so forth. And if you're not the exploratory type, and you just want to go through the level, you'll first come up to the featured asset of the game, which is a launcher, and some of the pickups to get along the way. The main objective for this level is to pick up every single pickup you can, which in level story, there's supposed to be books that are scattered all around the museum before reaching the end point. The player will be met with a destructible wall, and to get past you pick up a ball, or a cannonball. You'll hover it above the launcher, and then let go. The ball will be launched at the wall, and upon hitting, the wall will disappear as if the wall broke. And then the player is able to continue on inside to the first few rooms. After looking around, the player can completely walk straight through the hallway to the first rotunda, where he'll find one more pickup and another launcher. If you look around this room, you'll see that the ceiling is gone, and you'll see at least one or two floors above you. And that on the current floor, there's 3 walls that can be broken. Objectively, the player is supposed to continue to the left by destroying that wall first. To do so, he'll have to interact by pushing this launcher into place. To better do that, get into the corner where the archway and the centerpiece mix, and then just push the launcher into place and hold it. Then back away. After that, just find one of the cannonballs off to the side, hover it over the launcher, and again let go. The ball will collide with the door or the wall, and the player can progress through the first hallway. So as the objective said, there is debris and you have to cross it. To cross it, just simply jump over the debris, go through the pickups, and end up at the end of the hallway for the first exhibit room. The objective will be behind the tank, right next to one of the trees. Well, I should say the only tree. After that, the player can return back to the central rotunda. Now we need to continue to the next hallway. Push the launcher so that it faces the right-hand wall. After that, grab one of the cannonballs, hover it over the launcher, and let go of the cannonball to break the wall. If you have trouble, there is a small break in the system. The player can easily grab and push one of the balls to the desired place to cause the wall to break. In later builds, this will be fixed, as well as texturing and sound. I do want to apologize early on that if you do hear a clicking, as shown right there, that is my mouse, and there is a current sound problem with the mouse in the recordings. So this cannonball doesn't need to be here. Let's get that back into the rotunda. And let's continue to the end of the right hand of the hallway. This is not a dead end, and as you can see, the player can easily interact with the center wall piece by pushing on it to access the hidden room. They'll pick up the objective here, and then proceed back to the rotunda. As a little note, the player is able to jump over the debris and continue on flat. However, he will miss the objective volumes that are right under the debris and can only be gained by crouching. Now the player can easily proceed back to the rotunda and go through the center hallway. Again, the player will have to push the launcher into place. Once the launcher is in place, grab one of the balls here, hover it above the launcher, and then let go. Oh, I missed. I apologize for that. And as said, you can easily throw it if you have difficulty. After that, you proceed through the center hallway, jump over the small wall here, and continue up the stairs to the second floor to the next puzzle. Being back outdoors, the player can easily see further onto the terrain. You can look around, you'll see one of the planes flying by, and it's best to get to the roof to see if we can signal that plane to get out of here. But again, we cannot leave until all books or these little yellow pickups are collected. So here on the second floor, we'll see that there is some debris and overgrowth, and that we have to find the pickups before proceeding onwards. Moving to the left, there is one hidden in these blocks, and then it's best to check the opposite side for the same thing. Now we need to find a way to cross the gap. The player could try jumping, however will be returned. In later builds, the damage volumes will allow the player to fall straight through the gap back to the first floor and continue back up the stairs. However, as you can see, there is only 20 or so health that would be lost. Well, the plan is 20 health is to be lost. You could try to launch objects over, but there is nothing to trigger any volumes that will allow the player to cross. The way to get across is by jumping onto the launching pad and slingshotting the player himself over. In some cases, the player may fail and is easily returned to a checkpoint. Now we continue on. We'll go up the stairs to the third floor. Where we will see our final puzzle. Again, it is another gap. And it's going to be again too far for us to jump across. Here we have our launcher, and the player can easily push it, or he can pick it up. The idea here is that the player has to use the launcher to hit the target across the gap. He could try to launch himself over, he could try to jump over, but he will fail. As you can see, the launcher did launch the player, but it did not get me successfully across. To cross this gap, the player has to hit the target. So we'll have to line up the launcher so that the launching mechanism is properly aimed right at the circle. To rotate this object, we'll use Q and E. That looks good. Now we need just a cannonball, and we need to try our best to hit the target. If we hit the target, a bridge will appear. This will allow the player to easily cross. Now that we've reached a checkpoint, we can continue on to the last floor of the museum. The roof. Once on the roof, the player is checked to see if he's collected all of the proper items. There we go. As you can see, we did collect all the items, and here's where the level will end. Now, to continue on, the player is allowed to do as he wants and has the free choice to pick up all objectives or not. He can go up and down, he can skip objectives, but the moment he reaches the roof, he will be unable to end the level. As of right now, I'm only exploring to point out other notes and factors. In later builds of this level, the player will be able to notice further interactions, there will be more details, and there will be more interactions with the main launcher mechanic to get past more puzzles. Once everything is all said and done, the level will end and move on to the next level in the project. Other than that, that is my level. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later.